Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Please like, share and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Press like and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's. Sit back and enjoy. As we dive deeper down into the rabbit hole and into the unknown.
Hello, welcome to the show. I am joined by Sarah, co-host. No Nicole, no Tommy. We have Eric and Bob, or Dr. Wu and Paranormal Highway. Welcome to the show, guys.
Your intro scared the shit out of me.
Good.
I love the spooky sounds. I'm like, man, this is like watching Ghost Adventures. Wow, top notch.
Thank you.
Better than my intros. Mine's a piece of junk.
If you want one making, I'm more than happy to do it for you. Honestly.
Hey, I might have to.
I don't charge either. It's actually Emma, Sarah's twin sister, that does the cartoon characters.
Oh, wow. Have you seen our intro? You should see our intro. It's amazing now.
Dare you?
Well, they're better than mine.
Yeah, if you want me to make, I don't mind making it. I use PixArt. Used to be Picasso.
Oh, wow.
So you can do 2D stop-start animation on it.
I use the free version that's on the Apple computer.
Yeah, iMovie. Yeah.
I'm having hemp candy.
Now, is that hip candy? Is that like got stuff in it, or is it just candy?
Just pods.
Oh no, it's edibles.
Okay.
It's got a mixture. Yeah. That's what I loved about Manchester. You guys had a lot of CBD over there. I used to get loaded.
Oh, they have it at the garage where I fuel up in the morning.
Can you buy? Does Manchester have shops like in Washington now?
You can go to a fuel station and buy the little liquid tubs of it for like a tenner.
Yeah, I used to dump them in my pints.
It's taken out, but it's still CBD.
But I mean,
I used to dump CBD in my pints.
Do you guys have like a designated marijuana shop?
No,
they got Somalis. I used to go to the hookah shops and get all kinds of weed, but you got to go in the hookah shops and they want to be pioneer, Eric. No, you got to meet them under a bridge or something stupid, and they got to do a handoff, man. Yeah, they got to do a handoff. Like, just give me weed, dude. Just give me the weed. They got to do a handshake.
Freemasons.
I like buying weed from white people over there because you didn't have to do all the handshakes. Like, just give me the weed, man.
Dr. Wu used to give my son a bad time. Like, you're going to that place? That's where all the little scary little sissy boys go. You got
I used to go.
Shop. You got to go to one on Pack Highway. Like,
yeah, you got to go where the black guys get their weed because it's strong. Yeah, that's why I used to hook up with the Somalis in Manchester because they knew where the real shit was. Because it's all homegrown over there. It's like the Old West. It's pilgrims, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. No idea.
Oh, yeah. I was even at a house. I was going down to Manchester. There was a house, and these people explained to me how this lady, she was like a kingpin leader in Manchester, and they raided her house. Like, no shit. And she was selling like lots and lots of marijuana. I was doing marijuana spots all over Manchester. It was finally. Well, there was, I love doing laundry because I mean the laundry machine broke where I was, by the place I was at, and I love going to the laundry place in Manchester, like outside of Manchester, because you meet really old people that have an accent you can't even understand. It's so ancient. It's like, God damn, what are you saying, man? And like a big woman is folded laundry, like, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is she saying? But she sold weed. I'm like, oh, you sell weed? Shit. I used to meet her in the back of the laundry bag. She'd like have all these bags lined up. She had her whole hydroponics.
Well, that's probably Bolton.
Yeah, Bolton. I love Bolton. Yeah, I used to hang out in Bolton. I love Bolton.
I worked there for years. Lived there for a while as well. But
it's a cool place.
Good investigating Bolton.
Yeah, it's the best pubs, the best places in Bolton, man. I used to hang out in Bolton. Yeah.
Not now.
Well, that was just recently. Well, I mean, it was. I like it like that because you can get the best stuff. I like it. Shit. Eric and I were raised with. We're white children, but we were raised with people of colors because I was a ginger on top of that, so white people hated me, and everybody hated me. I used to have black guys say, "Hey, my ginger, what's up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, if you respell the word, I know how you. Yeah, it comes out to the same word, dude. I got it. What's up, my ginger? Yeah.
We were living in an apartment complex that was for illegal aliens when they come across the borderline.
Immigrants.
So where are you guys from? You have told me. So
we grew up in Kerman, California, outside of Fresno. So
K-Town.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
We're from, we call it K-Town. It's Kerman.
But didn't you guys, one of you live in Seattle?
I do.
You live there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he moved there. I moved there. I was in the military, and I got out of the military, and it was in the heart of the grunge time. So I was like, I'm going to Seattle, man. That's where the music's at. That's just where I moved up there because, shoot, man, oh my God, grunge was rocking at the time. So the music was fantastic. It's like when I went to Manchester, I wanted to go there because you guys have the best music. Like Seattle and Manchester are like the same when it comes to music.
Music is just everything.
Holy shit, you guys.
Not so sure now.
Yeah, you're right, Andy. Same thing down in Seattle. When all the tech companies came in, it kind of it upped the price, and all the bars and the clubs that played these bands all died out because they couldn't afford rent.
Well, I used to go to there was a club called the Boardwalk. It's in like an old cotton mill type thing, and you queue up in this gravel car park. You pay £2 to get in. And the amount of bands and groups that I've seen in there before they were famous is I cannot even remember who I've seen.
Oh,
we used to go every week. And then we go to like the Hacienda or Barca and just, all around town.
Like Madness. No, Madness, is that, they're Manchester, right?
No, they're London. I've seen them.
They're London. Okay. Because they've come in through Manchester a lot. There's a lot of good bands through Manchester. You guys have a rocking scene.
New Order, Charlton.
Good New Order, yeah. Especially like when you guys have Guy Fawkes Day. Guy Fawkes Day rocks.
November the 5th.
Holy shit, Eric! You've never seen Guy Fawkes Day.
I know you told me about it. We did a show about Guy Fawkes. You told me everything about it.
Yeah, well, in my reality, he was successful. However, killed, but he did blow up Parliament. But in this reality, I guess he never blew up Parliament. So I'm like, I remember him blowing up Parliament.
Someone grassed him up before he got there.
Yeah, he got pinched, man. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. All the power to him now. You guys need to go do a Guy Fawkes. I'll be there with you guys. I'll go with you. If you want to do a Guy Fawkes, I'll go with you guys. Okay.
Either way, I'll watch you on the breaking news.
I'll Guy Fawkes with you. Let's go Guy Fawkes for real though.
Yeah, I can imagine him on the
anyway.
He's the American in Manchester.
Anyway, Smithsonian.
Guy Fawkes Day.
Smithsonian.
That's right. We gotta. Okay, Smithsonian conversation. All right. Brass tacks, nitty gritty. Back to work. Okay. What do you got? Sock it to me.
Giants, right? So the giant or giants of Kandahar. You tell me.
That's fake.
Oh,
There's
is
no
it?
giants in Kandahar.
There's so
No,
many
that's
stories
fake.
about that. And
Yeah,
so
it's propaganda. It's fake. No, those guys are liars. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way the ambassadors can live in them caves over there in Kandahar. Kandahar caves are small. There's no big ass caves, and there's especially no things. And there's no outfits going. If there was, believe me, in the middle, if there was something going on in that cave, you would have air support like a mother. You would have all kinds of. You would have the English would be there with the Americans. You know what I mean? It'd be a freak.
It seemed a little. Well, put it this: so you had the Miami Mall that happened 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
And look at all the cop cars and the police. There's like 62 cop cars, for a couple of so-called giants. The giant in Kandahar, you had 2-3 helicopters and maybe some road vehicles.
Yeah, he would have there's no way. I mean, no, you would have too many. There's too many ears. There's too many people to shut up. I mean, you have a small skirmish. The Washington, everybody knows about any skirmish you have you have a group come in the Middle East. There is no monsters in Kandahar. There's nothing. I don't know what that is. I think that's part of they have this thing called the Pentagon Secret Army. It's like 20,000 whatever schmucks, and they're out doing some spinning. They're spinning things back. Like there's a lot of fake UFOs. I mean, there's tons of them. And there's fake giants, fake large monsters in the water. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Now, there's real things because I work at Smithsonian, so I know the real from the fake. And that's a fake. There's nothing out in Kandahar. It's a damn dirty-ass desert.
The alien in front of the Miami Mall is fake?
Oh, no.
Did no one tell you?
We don't.
You mean those two little aliens and that little thing is fake?
Well, look, I got aliens right here. They're in hula scoots.
I've got a sticker of one on my PC. Does that count?
I got an alien surfing because I used to surf. So no, but there's giants. There's giants in America, but that's real because you have the sustainability and the food and the climate and the topography for a giant, but you don't have it in a desert. You know how much those guys would eat in a day? It would be like 30 goats a day. Like, where do you get that many goats?
Between 17 and 24 foot tall.
Yeah, even that's a flag. No, you can't feed.
Think there could have been one. Whether it's gone through a portal, a time slip, or anything like that.
No. I've been all through the areas, and there's not enough. It's not enough sustainability to handle a human being alone. I mean, a human being alone has to travel with tons of food in the desert, let alone a giant living in a cave that's 24 foot tall. There's not enough goats in the desert. There's not enough camels to eat. It would smell. Because they would be large, and where would they put the cadavers and the bones? They would cook the bones. They would have a fire pit coming out of the caves. You would see that fire miles and miles away. You could see a fire in the desert miles away. Like when you're on a ship in the open ocean, they have this thing called darkened ship. And they say that the lamp, the lit lamp is out. That means you can't smoke outside. You can't. Yeah. You could see a cigarette 20 miles away. 20 miles away. So you can't have a giant living in he would be too noticeable. There'd be a folklore around the whole area. Everybody would know that there's a large, hairy man with a very large penis living in a cave somewhere eating goats. Like everybody would know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is. Like, I'm like, who's making these stories up? They're hilarious. There's so many made up stories right now. Like there's a spin campaign that's so crazy at the moment, trying to hide things. Now, if you want something truthful, down in South America, they did in fact have kind of a strange anomaly, and they do have boots on the ground now. They have Americans in South America, boots on the ground. It's an exercise. And they're also building ironically, why in South America are they building a extension to NASA? There's an aeronauticals building being built in South America, and it just happens to be in the same place as all these aliens are showing up flying in the air.
What's that sound?
I got birds everywhere.
Oh, it's birds. Okay.
Yeah, I've got hundreds of birds. I get hundreds of them all over the place. That's why I have the owl.
Living in Avery, do you?
That's why I have this. Remember, I told you if I don't have this, the birds will come attack. Well, they won't attack me, but they'll flap all over the place.
Are you inside?
At a dove.
Outside?
I'm outside. I'm always outside.
I was trying to work
Yeah.
it out. Like,
Yeah, I'm outside.
Is he outside?
Can't be smoking cigarettes in the house.
Well, you never know.
Well, I used to have to. I was staying in a flat in Manchester. And I smoked outside, but you guys have almost no sidewalk, and you have these cool steps that come right out to the sidewalk. So I just sit out like an American, just smoking a cigarette on the steps. It's like nobody hangs out on the steps. Like everybody's hanging out inside their flats. Nobody comes outside.
No, you don't want to.
It's too cold.
You don't want to hang around on the steps outside in the UK.
Yeah, you guys don't have you guys don't have a tall boy like wrapped up in a bag just drinking beer on the steps, man.
You do. You get them in park benches.
Oh yeah, park benches. Yeah, I drink there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Dr. Wu a question. So in the desert, you make sense on why a giant can't exist out there. But what
Can't live.
Totally you fake a story from that area? You think they're hiding something, or is there a reason why you want to make up a story for out there?
Well, when somebody screams there's a fire, now you can do two things. You can hide the fire, but you can always see there's a fire. It was there in the smoke, and it's hard to hide a fire, even if you put it out. You know there's a fire there. So the opposite direction is to make the fire bigger. Make it obnoxious. Make it to the point where it is obnoxious. So now it's just a blatant fire. There's nothing to be threatened about because it's so big that it's not a threat. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yeah,
but
and then
when something is
don't think about it then.
Yeah.
Because it's too obvious. It's over obvious.
Correct. So it's a spin cycle in the other direction. Sometimes it's hard to hide things, so it's easier to spin it the other way. The idea is to give you the truth obnoxiously to the point where it's blatantly dumb. Like, for example, all the UFO things at the Congress. And I'm sitting there going, the guy has said absolutely nothing. He's like said nothing. Are they human? Well, they're non-human entities. And I'm going, well, he's not lying. And I used to joke with Eric. I said, Eric, when you drive in a car and you go to Starbucks, are you carrying a non-human entity passenger? What's your answer, Eric? Eric didn't listen.
He's muted.
He's muted.
You muted yourself.
You're muted. You're muted.
His eyes.
The dog was barking, so I had to mute myself.
Well,
go with the parrot. Don't worry about it.
There's the answer.
Again, Bob. Ask it.
Okay, so Eric, I'm going to ask you now. This is me at the conference, whatever, and we're talking about aliens, right? Whatever's, and the guy says, we found craft with non-human entities, and he wouldn't be lying. So I'm asking you, Eric. Eric, have you ever drove a car to Starbucks with a non-human entity in your car?
All the time.
Yeah. So you're not lying. Put Eric on a lie detector test. Eric, I'm going to ask you again. Eric's on a lie detector test. Eric, have you ever found a craft or own a craft or have a craft with a non-human entity in it? Is that a yes or no, Eric? I'm asking you a question.
Oh, you're asking me again. Yes.
He has a dog.
Yeah.
A dog is a non-human entity. You probably figured it out.
Yeah. No, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not lying. So it's a play on words where if they were put into a lie detector machine, they can pass. The idea is to tell the truth in a way that it sounds like something else. So when these guys talk about these aliens and all these fucking things, or whatever, I'm like, nah, you're just giving an answer that is correct, but it's not the real answer.
A generic answer. Yeah.
Generic answer. It's the same thing with the Kandahar giant. It's the same spin.
I did go to Starbucks this morning, just for the record.
You're a bit, Eric, you've been a bit quiet.
And the dog was in the car, so.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, guys. Eric was deaf as a child, and I always don't have to tell everybody, but Eric was 100% deaf as a child, and the doctor said that Eric will never be able to hear ever. And my dad says he'll never be able to hear, and he goes, Eric, and Eric goes, huh? He can hear fine. And the doctors are like, we don't understand. He's not supposed to hear. But Eric can hear. So Eric's like a weird deaf. He is, but he's not.
Yeah.
That's a true story. That's a true story.
I used to be deaf in my left ear. But I'm not anymore. I think I had perforated eardrum or something. I was like,
I used to have blood. I used to have blood that came out of my ears and stuff because the eardrum's supposed to have a space between the back wall. I have no space. My drums were all the way in the back. So air pressure, anything would just do, and you learn to live with it. You just I watch people's lips a lot, and
Yes, we need to entertain Sarah. Sarah, where are you? Don't leave us. Don't do this to us.
Sorry, I keep losing sound, so I think I figured it out. But I don't want to look like I'm just like this. So I stopped my camera. Cool. I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we always have electronic problems. I don't
normally.
You know what? How I found to not get any issues with it. Get a gaming PC.
Well, this is a gaming. This is my sister's. It's a gaming laptop.
Right. Pay extortionate amount for the best internet with the best upload. Don't even ask how much I'm paying a month for this because it's ridiculous. I just can't think about it. So I get it's over 1 gig download and over nearly 200 upload, 200 meg upload. So it's very. If it cuts out, it's because of them. But getting a gaming PC is just changes streaming completely.
Yeah.
Really well, I don't have any issues. Normally, when I've got my laptop, I only use a Mac.
Well, if
we always electronics.
Well, if you want to get geeky here, Apple computers, before the M1 chip, Apple computers, honestly, they sucked for streaming. But as soon as Apple came out with those M1 chips, the M2 chips, miracle. Yeah. I mean, it just works.
Yeah. I got a Panasonic. I got a Panasonic Toughbook CF33.
I don't even know what that is. Okay.
Look it up. You're gonna be like, look it up. You're gonna be like, holy shit.
Well, I actually got an iPad. So when the computer's down or updating, I've got the 12.9 Pro, and that is just ridiculously fast. Yeah. So I use that. Yeah. So when you see all this behind me, but I can't do as much on there. It's good for when I'm out and about, but that's about it. Right. Anyway, no computer.
Yes.
Nothing.
We're gonna keep going off subject. We're gonna do 2 hours of everything else but the answers.
Well, I'll tell you guys this, because living in Seattle, because of the hearing stuff, no paranormal groups up here. I'm being honest here. The paranormal groups in Seattle, they're assholes. They never allow myself to join your teams and all that. Once they hear you have an ear issue, they say, fuck you. So Bob and I were like, we'll go on our own paranormal investigation since no group wants us. We go on our own. So we go to cemeteries. We just, go
what's the issue with?
Well, they're saying this. You're supposed to listen. So if you don't have full hearing, you're going to miss a lot of stuff. Because like for right now, like if I don't know how you explain it, but if you go on a high pitch, low pitch, anything low, like if you whisper to me, I can't hear. All low sounds are gone. So I can only hear up. So they're like, well, all the ghosts are down here. So if you can't hear down here, you're no use to us. So I was like,
See, I'd be awesome because I can hear noises that humans aren't supposed to hear, like what dogs and cats and animals. So if there's someone like the house next door, they can be having a conversation, and I'll be like, "Can you hear them?" And I can tell you what they're talking about. I can't hear every word, and everyone's like, "We can't hear anything." I can hear the TV on like 2 doors down, and no one else can hear it. It's annoying.
I'm gonna mess with
when you want to go to sleep, or are you trying to do something else?
What the hell was that?
Stop chatting. We want to know about giants.
What was that weird noise?
Morse code.
It's doing it again.
Bob,
one of you guys are hacked.
I'm being tracked by the government now, so maybe that's what it is.
Oh well.
Yeah, me too. They put a chip in my head. Joke.
Yeah.
They put it behind my eyeball. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but
no, you guys.
So I just can say I can hear the really low noises. So when I'm out on an investigation, and you can hear the chatter, the low. I can pick that up.
That's good.
Like I say, it's right next to me, but it could be 50, 60 feet away.
See, my belief is if ghosts want to talk to you, you're going to hear them. You have that.
Yeah, they're going to talk to you in your head.
You're going to be able
I know.
to
I was just going to say that they can surely, like when you get messages from them in your head, if you've got that kind of ability, then sure.
And that's why,
2 seconds.
That's why, when we go out, I feel like, since I don't have that part of the hearing, but I have other kind of senses, like I can see better in the dark, especially Bob, I can see way better in the dark, and I can hear more higher pitched things because sometimes your body,
it enhances all your other senses.
So what you're saying is you're a bat.
Yeah.
There you go. So when I go somewhere and it's dark, because my hearing's better than my sight, I just shut my eyes. And then if I hear something, I can home in where the noise is coming from. Excuse me. So I can pick up, not pinpoint it, but I can point to a direction. It's roughly coming from over there.
That's good then. Yeah. Yeah, well, Manchester, I don't know. Everyone talks about hearing and do it, and I just see the damn things. I told you the story. I've seen you have a lot of ghosts. You have a lot of ghosts, and they're just humans to me. They're just walking up, and I don't know the difference between if they're alive or dead yet. I'm like, you guys, this person might be dead. I don't know. Well, most people don't know if they're dead. They don't know they're dead, so they don't even know they're dead or having a conversation. I'm like, nah, you're dead, and you die.
This is my big question, right? The people that go out ghost hunting, yeah. When we're communicating with them, do they think we're dead? Yeah, or do they know they're dead, or is it a bit of everything?
They don't know.
Is it timelines crossing over? Is it a time slip? Is it whatever you want? I don't know.
I think a little bit of everything. I think I haven't got a set thing on this. I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's a little bit of weaving with the timelines.
Or could it be timelines running parallel? They just happen to, like you're driving down the motorway and you get a car going quicker than the other, then all of a sudden that car pulls up alongside you, and for them few seconds, you're both in the same place at the same time, and then one goes
it's like that. Yeah, it's like that.
Why we're studying it? Why we're researching it to find those answers? Because I don't think anybody knows the exact 100% truth. Well,
no, that's it. That's it. I mean, literally, that's it. I mean, I told you I saw 2 of your people. Oh man, you have a oh god damn, where the train's at? It's like it's in Manchester, and there's an area where the train's at, and there's this weird. I don't know. It's like weird. It's like there's a library there. I think it's a library. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's a weird.
Yeah, Central Library.
Piccadilly. You got a lot of dead people there, and they got hit by a bus. You got a lot of dead people got hit by. I swear to God, how many you got people that got hit by buses there? And I'm kicking it because there's okay, here we go. There's a small shop there that sells cigarettes cheap, right? Okay, these are Polish cigarettes, the Polish shop. So I buy, it's like $13, $14, $15. So these guys sell me cigarettes for $4. And so I go buy packs of cigarettes at that spot for cheap cigarettes. I got to do what I got to do. And I always notice the weird people there, and I'm like, this guy is dead. This guy got hit by a bus. And then I saw a girl, and I'm like, and she, yeah.
You'll know this, Sarah. You know where the Central Library is, the round one, and it's near the Midland Hotels across to the right as you're coming up from Salford area, going into town.
Yeah.
So you've got that, but then at the back of that and round, that's where the town hall is, the Albert Hall. So I think, didn't that used to be some sort of burial ground?
I've no
idea. Oh, that might be why.
The town hall.
Maybe that's why.
I had to move down here.
Oh, maybe that's why. You got a lot of dead people there.
Can you see
They don't know
this country, Bob. I mean,
I see. I see it, man.
The most evil empire in the whole world, killing everybody, taking over the world. I mean, so there's a lot of death over there.
Right.
But you got a lot of dead people there. Yeah.
Right. I've got a question.
That's why in America,
you sent me a message.
Has more ghosts because the East Coast was there first, and there's a lot more death happening on the East versus the West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a guy in the chat. I can say his name, Simon. Now, he had an encounter where he helped an elderly lady cross the road and carry her shopping bags. So he literally helped her cross the road, get to the other side, so to speak. He said she was physical. He carried it. He could see the shopping in the bag. So he'd give her the bag, turn around to do something. I can't remember the exact details. Turn back and she'd gone. This woman was like proper frail and old and she was no Linford Christie or anything like that. And he believes that he helped a ghost that was of solid form. Is that?
I believe it.
Is that a thing?
What would?
Yeah, I believe it. I believe that.
Though? Why would they be in solid form? Like, why? I mean, I suppose if you look at something in solid form, you're just going to assume, aren't you, that they're a person?
But how do we know that when we look? Sorry, how do we know that when we're walking down the street and we're seeing all these people and they're in full body apparition, there's no transparency on them whatsoever? How do we know that they're not here?
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me. I'm not joking, and this is not. It's going to sound funny, but it's not. There's a cool video you guys have, and I always like it. I use it as a I use it as a control, and it's The Verve and the song is Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah.
And he walks down that street.
Yes.
And whenever I feel like him when I was in Manchester, just like that, and there are dead people there all over your freaking shop areas, and I couldn't figure out why there's so many dead people walking around. And I was chatting with a gal. I was like, this is kind of weird. And she goes, well, let's cross the road and we'll grab the cigarettes. And I go, wow, where's your crosswalk? She goes, we don't need crosswalks in England. I go, what?
You can't get done for jaywalking only on a motorway.
No. There's no jaywalking. And I go, oh, no wonder there's so many freaking. That's why there's so many dead people walking around. You guys got people getting hit by cars, getting hit. I'm walking by this one park and they got flowers and all kinds. And like every other street, there's a flower. I go, what is this from? Let me guess. The kid got hit by a car, right? Okay, yeah. And there's kids in the streets with the bicycles, and I watched another kid almost had to help him because he almost got hit by a car. I said, well, shit. This place is designed to kill you. They got no jaywalking freaking rules here.
Certain points, but you can't, like over in the US, you can't get a ticket for just crossing at any point on any road.
I know, and that's why you have so many. And Sarah was asking her, like, why would this old woman be a ghost walking around this area? Well, obviously she's number one. Let's look at the facts. She's got a food bag. Otherwise, she was crossing the road. She got hit by a car, and she's dead.
I remember the location. I think it's just outside Manchester. If he's still in the chat, I know he's got some bits to do, but he'll tell me once he's sorted. But it's like when I was in Connecticut, I went to cross the road. Like you can't. Mate was like, you can't cross there. Well, what are you on about? I went, you have to go to the crossing. It's like 200 yards up the road. I'm crossing.
Yeah, you got to do it.
There's no police about. Run across the road.
But we're pretty strict because you guys have all these dead ghosts walking around. So I'm just gonna say, like Sarah brought up a good point. I'm like, well, the lady got hit by a car. So homeboy in the sidebar he just happened to come along and she needed help to cross the road this time. Maybe he helped her move on to the other side because somebody finally helped her cross.
Somebody literally crossing to the other side. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
That's the interpretation.
Yeah.
So he helped her cross it this time. Maybe she was just waiting for somebody in karma to help her cross the road.
Maybe that's what killed her. She was trying to cross with a bang.
Cross the road, because that's what I see at that library area. There's all those ghosts, and I didn't know why there was so many there. And I was like, is there like a burial ground? What's going on? And then later on, I'm like, oh my God, you guys don't have jaywalking. You got dead people. So it's like the movie. It's like the video, The Verve. And so now when I joke with people, I said, well, he's walking in a street of dead people. They're all dead. I go, that's how I perceive the video now. And every time I watch it, there's always something new in it. Like there's always a new person in it, or they call it the Mandela effect. And there's always something new. And I have people that are in Manchester that watch my videos go, yeah, they have a little club. They're like, dude, I saw 3 new things in it today. I saw 4 more new people in it. There's always somebody new in that video. It's always, every time I watch it, there's something new every time. I go, because they're all dead.
My favorite things is the Mandela effect. I love it. It is one of my favorite things to talk about.
Well, then you need to watch The Verve.
Yeah,
I need to check our channel. We did a lot of shows on Mandela effects. A lot.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I watched a couple of them. I'm not, as you know, I don't get a chance to watch them all. So your take on the Mandela effect, Eric, because like you said, you've done quite a few shows on it.
Well,
what's your biggie on that?
In the beginning, that's mostly all the shows that Bob and I did. Because it started, God, a long time ago now. But it started when one day Bob goes, "Hey Eric," because Bob was like testing me, like you remember? He goes, "Do you remember? Fuck, the lady with the braces. Fuck, I'm freaking her name.
Oh, Dolly.
Dolly. Do you remember
Dolly?
Moonraker, right? Because we grew up on Roger Moore James Bond movies. Roger Moore was my James Bond.
Yeah.
Because that was my timeline when I was a kid. So Bob goes, remember her? Do you remember her having braces or not having braces? And I was like, at first, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? She always had braces. That's why Jaws liked her. Jaws liked her because Jaws had this big mouth, which technically, guys, if you didn't know, Jaws was a mayor up a town near Fresno. So
yeah, I knew him. He lived up the road.
Wasn't he like 7.5 foot tall?
Yeah.
So, he's huge, man.
So, and then Bob goes, no, according to this, she never had braces. And I said bullshit on him. I actually did. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So we looked it up and it said, no. What do you mean no? She had braces. Then we looked it up and they said, well, people are misremembering because of some freaking commercial that I've never even seen. Like, this commercial is why I'm misremembering. What commercial? I've never seen this commercial. Because if you take out the braces, it's like you got this freaky old man picking up a teenage high school girl. It just does not seem right. And then Bob goes over with like a list of what do you remember here? What do you remember here? So we just start doing a show about Mandela effects, going over what people are misremembering, music, movies. Because movies are thing. I love movies. Grew up on movies, so I know what's real and what's not in a lot of movies. Even movies that don't. Now, this is the sad thing about Mandela effect. Bob will tell you this, like if a lot of people who have the Mandela effect or make claims of it, and if you have this one memory change and if they don't have it, they don't believe you. I'll tell you, like for example, like Dr. Wu knows this. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Meatballs, the one with Bill Murray back in 1978.
Back in the day.
Hey, Dr. Wu, is he dead?
Has he passed out?
I think it's frozen.
I see dead people. I can't resist.
Well, see,
I've been dying to say that down my mic.
I've been seeing changes.
I should have put my echo on.
God,
sorry, go on, Eric.
Well, he'll come back. I know he'll come back. See, I see a lot of 13s everywhere for whatever reason, and I see a lot of 13s that have changed in movies. So, like, there's a famous scene in Meatballs where there's a famous hot dog scene where
Quick
they're eating
question.
hot dog contest. What's that?
What's 13? Is that age restriction?
Number 13. That's just my
it keeps popping up. Right.
Yeah, a number that I always just see. Well, in the movie Meatballs, Bill Murray wore a Hawaii shirt through the whole movie. But then here's a scene in Meatballs where now in the hot dog scene, he's wearing this brand new sweater with the number 13 on it, which was never there. Right? And there's another movie called The Hoosiers where the guy, this little short midget guy, makes his shot, never had a 13 in that movie. He had like a number 12. Now, when he watched the movie, he has a 13. Okay, now here's the strangest part, and we did this on my show. I don't know what episode it was, because I have like 500 videos on my channel that I show people this picture, and then I show this other picture how it changed in the same year. In the same year, I was a basketball player. Here I am. I took this number 12 shirt. I was wearing number 12 because of a player off an Indiana team. Steve, I remember the player name where I had this number 12. Then I go, Bob, look at this picture, same year. I'm wearing a 13. So there's some weird Mandela effect shit going on where somehow I'm
back.
Everywhere.
Sorry.
Well, Bob, I was just telling them how on air I showed everybody a picture of me playing basketball wearing a number 12, and then that same year, boom, it changed to a 13.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
The Hoosiers, the number changed to 13, and then Meatballs, a 13 just appeared.
Yeah, and Mahoney's threw for 333 yards, and Super Bowl also had Taylor Swift's with her 13, and all the 3-3-3-3-3-3s that are running all through that freaking show. I'm like, oh yeah, the final game. I'm like, wow, all the threes are going all over the place. And go for it.
Saying that. Is it Mandela effect or is it subliminal messaging?
No, it's synchronicities. They're just synchronicities. Trying to fix myself. Yeah, synchronicities.
How do you believe the phenomenon? Some people say the phenomenon is they're giving you clues on why you see certain things, why you're seeing numbers. It's all, Mandela effect is kind of just a broad name. But there's like a lot of, it stretches out to a lot of different things. Phenomenon, number changes, movie changes, scenes, and like clues. Like Bob and I would be driving in a car, and Bob goes, look, for Bob it's 33. Like, look, 33. Look at this. It comes out to 33. And for me, for whatever reason, it's 13. Look, that comes out to 13. So it's like
a lot of people see it. It's an esoteric number. A lot of people see it. Also, they see 1111. I see that all the time.
And I go to this. Was born on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. I went to the store and I bought groceries and went back for another item. My mind's not even in on it. Got a beer here, got this, got some beef jerky. Hey, grab this off the counter. All of a sudden, it comes out to $11.11, and I'm like, "Come on, man, for real?" Or it's $3.33, or it's all those esoteric numbers coming back, and the probabilities of you seeing that more than like once or twice in a day is 1 in a billion.
Well, let me ask you, Andy and Sarah, do you guys believe in time travel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, how about this? You guys believe in maybe a multiverse is true, where there is. Okay, so if you believe in that, how can you not believe in the Mandela effect? Because you never know. Your Mandela effect memories could be from a multiverse or could be from time travel. So when people say, I don't believe in it, I go, well, you believe in time travel? Then there's a possibility, because if somebody did travel back in the past somehow, how does that change move forward? I mean, does your brain automatically accept the new change, or does it have confusions? I mean, nobody really knows.
Well, that one thing, one person going back and just having a look around and coming will have a butterfly effect on everything else.
Butterfly.
Bingo.
I also think when your
Mandela
timelines,
effect.
if your timelines are running alongside each other, a bit kind of like with the paranormal and like spirits and things, I kind of think if we are running alongside each other like this, every now and again they may cross and some leave a bit of a residue.
Like,
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
then it blurs a little bit, and we think, and then we pick up memories from the other timeline.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
We just kind of cross a little bit.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
That's just made me think. So when these timelines are like doing this, could that be a moment of deja vu as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Deja vu.
Because I don't think time is not like a straight.
My head hurts.
To me, it's very you can manipulate time, so it's very fluid. So if it in any way sort of crosses another timeline, I don't know, because it just blurs. You pick up a bit of residue from a different timeline, a different memory, or I don't know. I just think it's not a straight line.
Oh, that's it. You nailed it. Because when I was all over England, I got to see all kinds of cool stuff. I got to see some Scots. I got to see all kinds of cool people in the blurring of the cool lines.
You say about the blurring.
Oh yeah. That's how you guys kind of. I mean, it's a great way of thinking. The human mind can't really fathom certain things. However, the idea of the waves is a good concept. I like that one. Yeah. And they kind of overlap. They overlap a little bit. So because everything right now is everything's in flux at the moment. I mean, everything's in flux. Like everything's.
Think about like sound waves and things that move, like frequencies and things like that. They all have that same pattern. So why not things that we maybe can't comprehend would surely have that same pattern? It's not, especially something that's not like light obviously travels in a straight line because it's something we can see and visualize, but it's something that we can't. Why would it not move in a fluid pattern?
Yeah, it's a fluid pattern. Yeah, and I was even joking. I did a show a couple of days ago, and it was ironic because people send me emails, "Hey, dude, you nailed it." I said, "Well, in 1987 was the first ever. 1987 was the first ever visual supernova, like a supernova. Like no one's ever spotted one. They were only in theory." And in 1987, there was a massive supernova that you could see visually with your eyes with a cup of coffee looking up. Holy cow. And they sent down this thing called neutrinos. And all of the alarms went off in 1987. Everything went off. There was it shot bullets through the earth like nothing, these neutrinos, right? And these things are faster than the speed of light. Even though people's like, no, they weren't. They debunked that. Nah, apparently they went faster than the speed of light because they changed time a little bit in the past. So neutrinos did all this stuff. It was the same year in 1987, and all of a sudden Ronald Reagan comes out and says, if we had a threat bigger than blah, 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 his big old alien freaking speech, 87. And then all of a sudden someone says, hey, dude, did you know that Rothschild dude just died and he's 87? You know this guy just died, he's 87? Ever since you said 87, everyone's like, hey, 87's popping up everywhere. The final score of the Super Bowl game, the player that made the final score, his jersey was 87. And the guy that botched the tackle, he was 33. I'm like, oh, right there. See, you don't need to be crazy.
Wasn't 87 also the official date or the unofficial date when Mandela died?
Yeah. Correct, Mundo. Yeah, 87.
Like it was this morning.
87. It was 87 for me. I remember clearly.
I don't know why I was thinking 85, but.
So you have this massive, huge, no scientists have. It's a theory only, but they've spotted their first supernova. And if you don't know what a supernova is, it's when a sun explodes. It's a white dwarf. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and it exploded. And they saw it all, and they got all these neutrinos coming in, all these alarms going off. All of a sudden, we get a speech about aliens. All of a sudden, Nelson Mandela's dead. All of a sudden, 87 this, 87 that. If you even listen to certain music, it's got some relevancy to the Mandela effect. And a lot of songs in 87 changed. A lot of things from that time forward changed. And then all of a sudden, you're seeing things in the past change, which is telling me whatever it was enough to make that president come out and give a funny-ass speech about aliens.
Right.
I'm like, oh.
1987
Yeah.
was roughly when things that I was doing and my interests and all that changed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the music I was listening to, I'll say fashion, but the crappy clothes I was wearing in the 80s, everything just changed.
Yeah.
Could it be that? I'm not saying it is that, but
because I mean, in all reality, now I was 17, and that means I was kicking it outside probably, and then whatever that's it's the name of the startup blew up was Sierra Nickel 1987 Alpha 1987, and it basically gave us the money shot, like in a porno. So everybody got neutrinoed with the money shot. That was it. And all of a sudden, everybody got spooged on, and they changed. It's like, that's the way to describe it. We all got showered upon, and then everything changed from that time forward.
Can I move you over to the next break?
I describe things how people understand it. I got what he's saying. I got it. Yeah, because back in my reality, the Egyptians, the original god, he created archaeology, anthropology. He created the universe with the money shot. That's he ejaculated and made the stars and made everything and made life. And ironically, in 87, we got the old money shot. So, a lot of things changed from that time forward. And I think your king, the fake king, whatever his name is, Charlie's in charge. He's 87 right now, and it looks like he's got a death sentence. And Rothschild, he's died at 87. The Pope right now, he's 87. There's a whole lot of these 87s kind of rolling for some weird things at the moment. People popping off at that age.
Yeah. For 5 months in 87, I was 13 of age.
Oh, you were 13 in 87. There it is.
Wait,
wow, I was 17.
Wait.
2 primes.
I wasn't even
I got work
born.
out when I was born.
You're a puppy.
I was 14.
I
a year
was born in
year older.
1990.
73 I was born.
She's a dude. You mac young gals, man. Nice. Oh, bringing them on to the old man. Yeah. So, how old were you, Andy, in 87?
14. I was born in 73. January.
Okay. All right.
Well, that means
wow.
you're partial 13 in that year, and you turned 14. So you're 13.
26 days. 26 days. I was 13.
So you were 13 in 87. So you were prime.
See,
prime
at the beginning of the year. I forget about the 3 weeks prior.
Yeah. So you were prime. Yeah. So you were 13.
Both born in 1973. You and I. And my birthday in
May. Yeah.
And
so
70.
older than you.
And 73 is a prime. Okay. I'm just trying to
be. The thing with 73, a lot of people that are born in 73, I don't know if it's the same in the US as it is the UK, have a lot of UFO encounters, experiences, orbs, all that kind of stuff.
Here we go, Bob.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Well, I was just like, I was trying to put all together the puzzle pieces for why significant, what was significant about 87 and the astrological, whatever is what happened. And I go, oh, the supernova, which was also predicted and all these weird ass things from the past. And I go, oh, so it seems to be some sort of catalyst for all these things to happen. And you have a photon, and a photon goes the speed of light. The photon goes, so when you look at a star, it goes the speed of light. So we say it's something light years away. It took that long to get here. The speed of light is kind of slow. If you really think about it. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. A neutrino, which they debunked, says it's slower than the speed of light. Bullshit. It went faster than the speed of light. And if anything goes faster than the speed of light, you're going negative. And if you're going negative, you're going in the past. So this whatever that thing was, the money shot, spooged us all the way. It changed history from the past to the present. I just did a show the other day, and people were shocked. I was like, did you guys know that in the King James Version Bible, in this reality, Jesus, when in his burial chamber, had a napkin on his head. Napkin. Think of the word napkin. It's napkin, like a napkin. a napkin. Yeah. Now the napkin was never in the Bible. He's never had a napkin on his head. A napkin is a modern word. It's not old. And so it's in the King James Version Bible. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. And I took theology. I studied all that shit. I could tell you all these religions change. I'll tell you everything that's changed in all the religions. Even in Islam, it's changed. One of the biggest ones that make me laugh are the Scientologists. Their story of Xenon changed. For me, Xenon, so you guys want to go in the story, was this captain or whatever. He got all these souls and whatever, they're frozen, all these criminals or whatever, and he puts them on his airplane. And it's a 747, and he flies the 747 to Earth, and he drops all the people off at a volcano. Now, it's a 747. I learned about it in college. So, in this reality, it's a DC-8. I go, no, it wasn't. It was a 747. And then in the Twin Towers, everyone says, what into the Twin Towers? I think they said it was a 767. No, it was a 747. There was 747s that went in the Twin Towers. No longer anymore. They're 767s. 6 and 7 is 13, by the way. So there's your number of that one. And all these different weird numbers. I go, a lot of these things have changed. And there's a sequence to it. There's a numerical sequence to it. And it has to deal with primes and compounds. If you guys know about any esoteric stuff with Pythagorean math, it's real easy. If you have a number 13, well, this any number, like, I don't know. Anyway, you have 26. So two is a compound. You take it down to a 1, take it down to 0. Now you have 26. They have 6. 6 is a compound. You take 6 down to 3 to its prime, and then it leaves it there. Now you're stuck with 3. Everything goes down to its prime.
Yeah.
This is Pythagorean. This is what all the Freemasons do, because I used to be a Freemason. So but my Freemasonry and this Freemasonry are different. They have different symbols. The whole thing in Freemasonry to me has changed. The compass and square are completely changed. I'm like, nah, man. All the symbols in Freemasonry changed. I go, I don't know you guys. I don't know who you people are, so I'm stepping the hell away. Okay, shoot. I think I froze.
No, you're right. You did earlier. You look dead. Look like you just gone, but you come back, so it's all good.
I'm just thinking putting in there Mandela effects in the chat. Blue Shiv wrote R2D2 with a silver leg and arm.
That was C3PO.
Yeah, I'm just I'm reading it. Yeah, C3PO. Now, I see half the people says all gold and silver. And honestly, on that one, I always remember the silver there, but Bob remembers.
I remember the silver arm, but not the silver leg.
I remember. For me, I remember the silver leg. But of course, when you go to Luke or No, I'm Your Father, I remember Luke.
Okay, cool.
I have a split memory there. Now, this might sound strange to you guys. Bob and I have split memories on certain things that we're involved with, like when we're in the mountains where I can't remember exactly. Bob, you thought I was fishing, but I shot a tree out. I shot a window out of a car. And you had a different memory, like you didn't shoot no window out of a car. Yeah, Dad shot the window out. And you thought I was fishing or something, So there's some of those things that we have split memories on.
That's interesting, like actual memories that you experience together rather than like a sort of something on an advert or sort of widespread.
Oh yeah. Tons. Eric and I have, in my reality, I'm from Sagittarius constellation. That's where the Earth was located, where I was from. Believe me, I know, because I worked in an aerospace museum and I took care of all the exhibits. So I knew, and I used to teach a little bit about all the beautiful things of the stars and the sun. I knew all about all that stuff, and so I knew exactly where I was. And so when I woke up in 16, I'm like, I got Howard the Duck here, man. What the hell? What do you mean Orion Spur? I was not an Orion Spur ever. And the engines used to be under the wings, and now they're in front of the wings. And all these weird things are going on. And the sun and the moon don't make no sense. One day I was in Manchester. I was buying hot dogs at a hardware store, and you guys have horrible hot dogs. I'm telling you right now, England needs to fix that shit because that's a problem. But you guys have bad hot dogs. But they were like, they're in a can of water. I go, you boiling hot dogs? You put them on a grill, man.
No, you boil them in a pan, and I've never had one.
Really?
I'm not planning on having one anytime soon.
Oh, do admit I have barbecued a hot dog, and it does make all the difference.
It does make the difference. Yeah, I used to barbecue hot dogs in Manchester. All the Mancunians are like, what is this? It's a hot dog, man. You put it on a grill, take it out of that boiling water, and eat it like a normal human. But anyway, so I'm buying a hot dog in a hardware store, which is kind of cool to even have them there. And I looked up and I said, "Is that the sun and the moon out together?" I'm like, "That don't happen. That ain't happening." So the stars have changed. The moon and sun makes no sense on their cycles. Nothing. It used to be a bright yellow-orange sun, which means it's young, middle-aged, young to middle-aged. We've got a small white ball, which in their science, is telling me that it's a small white dwarf, and a small white dwarf is dead. So is that a dead sun? And everyone says there's a lot of holes.
Time out, Bob.
What's
what
that?
The hell? Boiled burgers? What the hell's a
Not
boiled
burgers. No, you don't boil a burger.
Somebody
Even
else
we
had
won't do
No.
that.
They used to boil burgers.
No, they
Is
don't boil burgers.
this a British thing?
No.
No. But I used to. But I had a butcher friend, and he was cool, man. He was a football player, and he knew I'm an American, and he used to leave the bone on. And he used to cut me tomahawk steaks, and he had to do it illegally because they can't have the bones on the meat. I'm like, what? You can't have bones on your meat?
Oh, at one point, you had to cut it off. I think it was during Mad Cow.
Yeah.
You could,
What?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can't buy a steak with meat in it?
You can get arrested.
No,
for
they
it. It's ridiculous.
Americans, I used to have to buy marijuana from the Somalis. I used to have to buy my steaks from this Scottish butcher that would secretly, illegally keep the bones on the steak.
But how's that illegal?
I had to like run around.
What?
Mad cow disease. They can't have the bone.
Going to say one thing, then we'll
Yeah.
go for a break. Did you know that NASA owned the patent to replicate the sun? You probably did.
Well, they can't, but you know, it's a Kandahar thing. It's the reverse thing. There's no way. Even China had the same one. So China had this thing where they were talking about they made a sun, and I go, no, they didn't. There's a patent on a lot of things.
They own.
Yeah. It's another spin. It's another reverse spin. They're doing that reverse spin thing again, and it's part of that little hook again. So it's good that you bring that up. You guys don't ever be embarrassed to bring up these, like, they have time travel patents. Nah, they don't. I know because I work with people from NASA, so I know. I used to work for the government.
Yeah. Right,
Go
so
for
we do 1 minute 20.
Yeah, I got pissed.
And then we got a few questions.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. See you then. See you in a minute.
Literally. See ya. Literally.
And we are back. All three of us are back. Breathing a voice, disembodied voice. It's all good. It's all good.
All right.
Let me just catch up on the chat. Just send a couple of messages. Right.
Do you know my most favourite Mandela effect is the Monopoly guy with the monocle.
With the monocle.
Blows my mind every time.
Yeah, I had that game. I used to play.
Sarah, I don't know what.
Yeah, I used to play it.
But Bob and I broke down the whole Monopoly thing for 2 hours, all the way back from the lady who originally invented the game, got stolen from her.
Yeah.
We did whole research on that on one show for 2 hours.
Yeah.
What did you find? Did he ever have a
Monopoly?
Well, it's not what we found. We found like
not in this reality.
I think it was more of information on how women were getting their stuff stolen from corporations, because in the game Monopoly, it was invented by Bob. I can't remember her name, but she invented this game to teach poor people on how to buy land and all that. And then some guy copied it and sold it to Hasbro, but it was hers. So it was more of a story of how a woman got their stuff stolen. And so I don't know. I felt like the code was going all the way back and learning the real history of how Monopoly, about the economies and stuff, and how people were getting stuff stolen even from back then.
Helicopter.
Because we all know, first of all, Pity Bags had a monocle. I mean, that's a given. We don't know how the hell the monocle left.
I got a helicopter coming over my house. Fuck you, man. Sorry.
It's cool. It's like being back in Manchester, isn't it? With the police helicopter every night.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where I lived in Manchester, for some reason, when the police helicopter was out, whoever they was looking for presumed that they was in my bedroom, because the spotlight would come straight in through the window. I'm like, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe
I'm up for work in like 2-3 hours. 2-3 hours. There's no one here.
Do you ever do that thing though, where you kind of want to look guilty on purpose? So you're like,
say again?
Have you ever done that thing where, like, there's a helicopter hovering right outside the bedroom or something at really early hours, and you kind of want to look guilty?
I used to get
look through the window and make
it through the window.
Guilty.
It'd soon move.
Yeah.
It got annoying.
Just drop your pants. When they come by, I drop my pants.
Oh.
I give them You give them the helicopter. You give it back to them. Helicopter. This is for you, man. In the helicopter.
Hey,
they want to see a helicopter?
Are you trying to kill me or something?
You just give them your own helicopter.
I got to put away the peanuts. He's going to kill me.
Right. She could do tassels. Helicopter.
Question.
She's got a Chinook. I got a Chinook. That's the double helicopter blade.
Yeah, I got it. Right. So this is.
I got it, man.
Quickly moving on.
Okay. What's your questions?
So this is from UFO Joe over in Sweden. Dr. Wu, what about the Smithsonian hiding old evidence of giant skeletons? What's your opinion on that? But there's an extension on this question. What's it take on hiding reported in the 1800s and 1900s?
Now, do they know that Bob used to work there? That Dr. Wu actually, okay.
Yes.
I think I'm freezing, but anyway, probably don't want me to answer that question. No, they got him. They got him. They got the bones there. Again, okay, you guys got to remember, there is no they. There is nobody behind the veil. It's compartmentalized. Like people think of NASA. They think of a bunch of guys in white shirts in one building. NASA's a conglomerate with buildings all over the world. So each building has their own thing to do for each thing. Smithsonian is exactly the same. So it's got people in every direction. So there's no one group. there is one decision that comes down from maybe two people who are on the top, or whatever. Like, don't let this out. It's too much for people to handle because they can't handle the truth. Because some people will commit suicide. It's that simple. So some information is being withheld because some people can't handle it. Like the old drop, the truth drop. They say they can't handle the truth. You know, Jack Nicholson. Well, they can't. People can't handle the truth. And there are people like, okay, so like there's Sarah, there's you, Andy, and Eric. You guys can handle it. You're kind of on that little level where it's cool, it's fucking funny. You can handle it. But the old lady that's crossing the street with the groceries, well, now it's on her mind, and there's a giant, and now she knows all about it. And now she's going to buy some chicken eggs or whatever, and she's crossing the road. She gets hit by a car because now she can't handle it. So her day is ruined.
Yeah,
I mean, there's people, it'll ruin you. Go ahead.
I just on the question. So when Joe was saying about he meant the Smithsonian, the people that run it, whoever the Smithsonians are.
Yeah.
That's who he meant by they, not some background force.
Yeah. So they have large bones, and they have them for research, and they use the bones to find out what they ate, what kind of parasites they had in their bodies, their protein intakes, all that information. And the United States, back then it did have a civilization before the indigenous peoples got here, before they crossed over the land bridge. There was a time in the States before, we're talking before the Ice Age. The Ice Age was only 30,000 years ago. Wasn't that long ago. It's like throwing a rock over there. So even before that, they already had a civilization. And then the Ice Age came in. And then everybody moved downward, more towards, like, say, the Grand Canyon, right? So that's where they found the other set of bones coming out of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that's where they were. They were down south. And as they started finding more, they found the progression of the Ice Age from these people that were already here. Now, you have already a problem because you have a bunch of white people that showed up and really stole a lot of things from the indigenous peoples. They're already pissed. They're already pissed. So you're going to tell them that there were large, very white, freckled face, red-haired men and women here, freckled, long red hair, big, already had a civilization here way before they got here, thousands of years. It ain't going to fly. It ain't going to fly. Because, I mean, they're not the indigenous people now. You know, it's like, oh, we're not going to give you anything anymore. It's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. So some information has got to be saved because there's already things established. There's already a system set up. Because if you start coming in with all these other things, and we demand it. I'm a red-headed freckle face, and I demand reparations. You know, like my indigenous peoples were already here. Nah, I can't do that. So the Smithsonian do have a lot of things you guys don't know about. They do. That's a good question because everyone asks me about the giants. So they have giants.
Right. Next question, because I'm not ignorant, but I don't really know a lot about Smithsonian. So is it just obviously it's more than one building? Is there only one place in the US where the Smithsonian is, or do they have different?
Oh, multiple.
Right.
Multiple.
Yeah.
The Museum of Flight.
Totally forgot.
Yeah. Okay. No offense to women. This is how I speak. It depends on what titty breast you drink from what breast you drink from. Smithsonian drinks from a different breast than Museum of Flight drinks from a different breast on the same mother as the Smithsonian, if that makes sense. They're getting funded from the government. So they're still affiliated with the same educational system. They have the same mother, which is the government. So a lot of people, different museums, are still drinking from one or the other, which is the funding coming in. So there are multiple Smithsonians all over the United States. Yeah, but they centralize them in the bulk of them are in Washington. There you go.
Right. So did they have money funded from like what they call the black budget or the black money?
No, actually not.
Actually,
no. It's a good question. I can't remember his freaking name off the top of my head because I'm eating edibles. There was the Smithsonian was true. The Smithsonian was actually started by a very, very wealthy individual who had lots and lots of money. He died and didn't give his family any of it. He gave it all to the United States government to specifically open museum, and they took that man's money and made these the Smithsonian, probably his name is Smithsonian. It made the Smithsonian museums off a private donor, originally a private donor, and that funding, it was a lot of money. Now, even I, working at the Smithsonian, said this dude donated the money a long time ago. How is it in today's modern day his money's still here? How much did this man have to have it go this long and still going? Well, it's also government funding and the taxpayers. Yeah, some of it, but for some reason, I got a jet coming over. Oh, is that the helicopter? Anyway,
you're coming back. You spotted the shirt.
Helicopter. But there is funding. The original funding came from one donor, one man. Yeah. And then they say the rest of it comes, and some of it does come from the government because they've taken over the whole thing. But the budget came from an individual, and a lot of those artifacts and a lot of those rare things are his and were his. It's like this. And I'll be honest with you, even I was blown away by it. It's like, was this guy some kind of super treasure hunter? Because he had a mass amount of wealth, which is telling me this guy got stuff from somewhere. It's kind of like we joke about the Knights Templar and all those things that the Knights Templar took. For some reason, this guy, he was a Templar. Going down so all that, like there was a movie with Nicolas Cage, Eric, what's it called?
Oh, I know it. National Treasure.
Yes.
National Treasure. It has that flavor when I was there. So if that answers his question, I think I answered your question very well.
Did the government now run it? Did they just jump in and take over, or was it kind of handed to him, or how did that happen?
It willed.
What was their involvement from like this?
It was wheeled to the United States of America, as generic as that may sound. Not to a person, not to this, but to the United States of America with heavy contract clause. How your grandfather dies and he wills you a set amount of money. Eric, what was that movie called? Easy Money. Remember Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield? You guys, that movie.
Easy Money.
There's a movie called Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield, and he
no drugs for 30 days to get this money.
No drugs for 30. He has all these rules he has to follow in order for him to get the money.
Eddie Murphy do a version of it.
Yeah, it's the same concept. So when you got a will, there's a clause. They have to follow all of these rules for the money, for the estate. They have to, and it is willed to the United States of America. And so whoever the government is in charge are just the new holders of the will, because they're the ones in. Yeah, so that's the answer.
They don't actually own it. They're like guardians.
Yes, of the estate.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Here's your answer.
Oh, I'm glad I can get my head around it tonight. Normally struggle. Right. Danny Staten has said to ask you about the big Smithsonian warehouse in Denver and why you have to have security clearance to get in the door.
Oh, you have to have security clearance to get into any Smithsonian door to work there. Good question. Yeah, I had to go through FBI. I already had a security clearance from being an intelligence person on an intelligence ship, so I already had security clearance. So you got to also have a background FBI check, and they got to talk to your parents, your family. You can't be in any debt. You can't have any debts. You can't owe money anywhere. You got to be a clean slate. They really go down dirty and deep. So security clearance number one, then your foot is in the door. You know, he's talking about the Denver warehouse. Now, Denver, they have warehouses all over the United States.
Right.
And the one I had to work in back and forth was when I was in Washington, D.C. It was in Suitland, Maryland. And that's a warehouse like he's describing. And it's one of the ones I talked about where I'll give you the scenario again. So we got all this stuff packed up, and I go into the warehouse. Before you even go into the warehouse, I set up the CO2 tent. It said CO2 in there to kill everything. You put all the artifacts in the tent. You have your full mask, your whole suit on. You turn the switch, sends all the gas in and kills any and every living parasite. Everything is dead on those artifacts. Nothing's alive. Then you turn it off and suck everything out, and you pull everything out, and then you can put it into the storage, long-term storage. So they do have a long-term storage place there. And yeah, it does require a security clearance. So, because there's a lot of stuff all over the place. Again, some of this stuff came from, go back to your first question, the guy's estate. So whoever this was,
right there,
had a lot of stuff. James Smithsonian, 1765. Yeah, James Smithsonian, 1829, donated his entire fortune to the start of this weekend. There's your answer. So it kind of goes along, and everything else I said, yeah. So that's a lot of his estate. And then after that, then people they hired scientists to go out and find every fish on the planet, any living thing on the planet. There's a Smithsonian specifically for orchids, specific plants, orchids, yeah. Everything, seeds. They even have a seed bank of every seed on the planet. Every seed they can get, a seed bank. Their job is to preserve all of history, everything, even modern fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just going to put this up. So it's from Rick Sanchez. He subs to both your channels.
Oh, yeah.
He's just subbed to this one now. Thank you. He's asking, I've never asked, but what was Bob's rank as a Freemason? I'm asking because I've never heard him mention it before.
That's a good question. I don't remember you.
Oh no! I was the bottom of the bottom. Bottom of the bottom. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'll get.
Yeah. Bottom of the bottom. Just enough to go in there, hang out a little bit, and not be overly excited about them being such sexual harassers of females. Because after everything was over, you also have you can eat there, we eat and everything. Then we all went to the bar together. Now, at the time, I was divorced, raising 2 little kids by myself. And I didn't feel like going to no bar and getting all drunk and then having these girls sit on your lap because waitresses are just getting slapped left and right on the. I mean, nobody was offended because they're getting fat tips from these guys, but I'm like, I don't want to roll with these dudes. They're like old guys that played Dungeons and Dragons too much as a kid and just never quite got out of it. And that's what I felt like. And maybe 2 or 3 of them are veterans. The rest of them are a bunch of old fogies that have nice jobs that we all. It's called nepotism. Everybody does a little bit of a nepotism with each other. And that's it. I'm like,
scratching and all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I
in the UK, and they're depending on their job and the criteria and whatever trade they do, it's
yeah. And because I was just divorced, doing the whole divorce thing with the kids, to be honest with you, I just had to leave. I said, I can't do the time anymore here. Sorry, they're old Dungeons and Dragons players. I'm leaving. Southgate 100 for the record. So
probably celebrated when he left. Yeah.
Oh, they want it back. Oh, they wanted me back bad. They kept fucking. I mean, you never really leave.
You're their fun guy.
Yeah, I went back a few times. I'm like, I can't memorize all their stuff. It's a lot of plays. I don't give it away, but you got to memorize tons of stuff. And now they're also missing letter or vowels. There's no vowels, right? So once you learn how to read words without vowels, because if you guys ever noticed that in Hebrew, there's no vowels. There's no vowels in Hebrew. So, and they read it backwards. So there's no vowels in it. So it's the same concept of all their books. So I'm reading all their stuff. Now I got to take care of 2 kids. I got a lot of research to do for the museum, and it's just too much work to sit there and have a little say all these things they want me to say. I can't do it, guys. I don't have it.
Learn pronunciation and all that, haven't you?
Yeah. So okay, there's the answer.
Right, cool. Right,
Very
I've got
low.
2 things that I want to mention. I don't know if you know about them, but it's one way to find out. Denver Airport, the new Denver Airport, and Bohemian Grove.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well, okay. So, okay. Not to make anybody feel offended, but there are 2 races of people on the planet. Okay, there are the RH negatives, and then the RH positives. Okay, RH negatives are in my time they were 19% of the world population. In this reality, they say it's 17%, but I think it's more like 15 or even lower than that. So they all come from one whatever lineage, whatever. So, okay, so if you guys don't know about RH negative blood, I can talk to you about that in a second, or it's up to him. But there are 2 different types of people. The people that are RH negative are technically related, long term, whatever. Yeah. Every president in the United States of America is, in fact, an RH negative. That's why I can sit here and say I can make a prediction on who's going to win. Which one has RH negative blood? I guarantee you that one does it, and that one does it, and they're out. Those 2 are going to be less because Donald Trump, he's RHO negative. Biden, RH negative. Barack Hussein Obama, he's AB negative. Going back, all negative, RH negative. So the Bohemian Grove are all a bunch of the cousins, getting together, having some brews. It's just a family thing. It's no different than you guys having a what do they call that? Whenever all the family gets together, a family reunion. It's a family reunion of RH negatives. That's Bohemian Grove. And everybody is anyway. Yeah, and then of course we go back to nepotism. So it's all nepotism because they invented the word. I'm an RHO negative, so I know all about them. In fact, the organization that I joined specifically targeted me because they knew I was an O negative. So they wanted me in their group because they were all negatives. They were all RH negatives in this one fraternity that I was at.
So no matter what blood type you are, like A, B, O, RH and all that, or A and B, is it the negative that makes a big difference rather than the positive?
Yeah, it's the negative. Because the reason why, and this is what the science says, right? Again, I don't want to put people down. This is what the science is put out on paper for you to look at yourself. So this is not me. This is I'm anthropology. I'm telling you. Yeah. So RH negative blood has 0. RH means rhesus factor. The rhesus macaque. It's a rhesus macaque is a primate. It's a monkey primate. They carry the same blood as an RH positive human. RH positive humans have, as the science goes, macaque monkeys blood. RH negative has no macaque, has no association with anything on the planet. No animals, no nothing.
There's no link to anything. Yeah.
No link to anything. And the difference between the blood cells is, and this is the way I explained it, RH positives think of a pickup truck. Okay? So you're an RH positive. You're a pickup truck. And in the back of the bed of your pickup truck, you carry the proteins and all the goody things that make you a happy, healthy human being. It's in the open back of the truck. Also subject to attack by any viruses that are all around, all that stuff, because it's in the back of a truck. It could be hijacked by all kinds of stuff, pirates, whatever, because everything's exposed. RH negatives is a Volkswagen. Everything is carried inside the vehicle. It's like a van. Everything's in the van. So when a pirate comes around to try to hijack anything, no viruses can take anything because everything's tucked away on the inside. Everything's in the membrane. So RH negatives carry all the goodies that you would have in the back of the truck, but on the inside of the truck. And then RH positives carry everything on the outside of a truck, subject to attack. So that's why I always joke about everyone getting the virus. Everybody got sick where I was at in Manchester. But I was the only one who didn't get sick. They're like, "How are you not getting sick?" Because I'm an RH negative. That means they can't attack anything. I have no Velcro on the outside of my blood cells. There's no Velcro.
Yeah. I'm AB, which is quite all right because of me initials, and I'm thinking AB negative.
Yeah, that's the rarest.
But my
That
mum
is like the
was RH negative.
Yeah, you carry I call it the red gene. You carry it then. That's why you're all weird and you look for ghosts and stuff and you hear things. You have the antenna. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, man. RH negatives carry the antenna. It's stock. It's just comes stock.
There's weird things that have happened to me. I don't know. If I've levitated, not by trying, it just happened. And just things that don't happen to anyone else. It got to the point where I'm like, is this only happening to me? Because I don't see it happening to anyone else. I don't hear about it happening to anyone else. It just felt like,
it happens to the art.
Bad luck, good luck. It's some sort of luck. It weren't too great, but it just seemed to be a constant thing. Then it just stopped.
Well, you're like my son. My son is an AB negative, which is the rarest of all of them. That means you carry all three. That means you have A, B, and O. You have all three. That means you're like you're a half breed. You're like, I always joke. I always call my son that. I call anybody I know that's an AB negative. I go, you're a freaking super half breed, man. You're like a triple half breed. You got all three. That means you have all three ancestors. All three ancestors. You have all three. AB and O is all three ancestors. You have them all. That means you had a bunch of horny ass parents in the past, or grandparents going way, way back. From all.
My mum had 10 of them, 10 brothers and sisters. I've got 7 cousins, about 30, 40. Anything between 1 in one family and 5 in the next. So, quite a few.
And then, unfortunately, down the line, like myself, you are in fact a bastard. So you have a bastard. If you guys know what that means, it's not putting them down. It's a name for. There was somebody that had an RH negative blood type that mated with somebody with an RH positive blood type, and then created a bastard and then left. Obviously a royal somewhere. Yeah,
that's where the word comes from. Yeah.
So I myself am a bastard. I'm an O negative, which is hard. Yeah. So yeah. So there's that question answered.
Do you know yours?
According to the military, on my military card, it said O positive.
All right.
I never got tested after that, because when you do blood tests now, they don't even tell you.
No, you got to pay. Oh, Sarah will know this because she's a midwife. You can find out when you're pregnant. You have to do a blood test, or if you're going in for a major operation that might require a blood transfusion. So I went in and had a double hernia op nearly 2 years ago. So they had to find my blood type down in case I needed transfusion during the op. So I said, "Oh, can you tell me what it is?" I went, "Yeah, AB positive, AB negative, whatever it was." He said,
"Was your hernia down by your crotch area?"
No. Right.
Where was it at? Where was it at?
Like a golf ball.
That's where mine is. I have one too. I got an umbilical hernia.
Fall and come back in again.
Yeah. It's an umbilical hernia. And this is me as an anthropologist doing research. I've talked to a lot of RH negatives, and they seem to have an umbilical hernia, or they have it down by the crotch area. And I have a real clear dream of some little thingy sticking a needle in my belly one time, and I know exactly what that was. So you were an abductee, my friend. You got stabbed.
Oh, I pulled a thing out my nose.
Yeah, you're an abductee.
That's mad.
Yeah. Because you're an RH negative. Statistically, they always abduct the RH negatives. They abduct the RH negatives all the way down the line, almost across the board. Abductee. Are you an RH negative? Number one, check. Do you have any hernias?
Technically, I'm not an abductee. I'm a contactee.
Oh, you're a contactee.
I have missing time. I had, Jessica Jones. She did I asked her to do a remote view on me. I give her a couple of coordinations in years and all that. She went in and found stuff on there that unless she's watched every single minute of every stream I've done, she wouldn't have known. And so she's wrote all the data down. So I printed it off, laminated it, so I've got it. And I spoke to her. She came on the show. She told me about it beforehand, just in case there's anything a bit dodgy on there that I didn't want anyone to know. But then we did it on the show. But the stuff that she was saying, some of it didn't make sense then, but it's kind of all coming together. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
It's like someone
I had
pulling bits out.
Yeah, I had a thing pulled out of my back. I was at the VA and had a cool doctor. She was hot too, Latina chick. Anyway, she's looking at my back and she's like, "You have I think it's a cyst." She goes, "I don't know if that's a cyst. What is that?" It was a slight bump, and she's like, "That's weird. What is that?" And she goes, "You mind if I take a look?" I'm like, "What do you mean take a look? Can you go pop them, whatever?" He goes, "Yeah." She slit me open. I have a scar and everything. You can prove it. And she pulled it out, and she's like, "You got something that was in your back." And she, of course, she chalked it up as shrapnel. Military. So you have some shrapnel on your back. And I go, "Oh, shrapnel on my back. Okay, I never knew it was there." But I have a question about it.
I don't know if you can see. So round there and there, identical. If you put my hands together, it's like a mirror image. I've got two tiny little scars, but they're not there all the time. They'll go and they'll go for months at a time, and then they'll come back slightly raised. And I've tried to see what's inside. You can see it better on that one because I've not got the tattoo.
Are they raised at the minute?
Can you see it there?
I see it. I see it
at the minute.
All right, yeah, she'll though.
There, you do the tattoo, and you can see it's the same point on both hands, and they only appeared about 2-3 years ago.
I got one. Yeah, I got one right here too. I got one right here. I got one too. I got a little weird scar spot right here, like a.
See, I've got a little weird scar.
Scoopy scar.
Well.
But this is the other thing as well. I don't have a birthmark.
Oh, you got one too? Oh, yeah.
A little white.
I've checked everywhere possible for a birthmark. Nothing.
See, I would ask Sarah her blood type, but that's rude. You can't ask women their age. You can't ask women their blood types. You can't ask women a lot of things. Okay.
Boring.
Now remember now. Positives can also carry the gene now too. Like Eric carries the gene. Eric carries the gene. You can carry the gene still. It don't matter. You could be a negative, but you can also have a parent that was a negative and still carry the gene. It might not be expressed in your blood type, but it's still expressed in some parts of your body.
They're even giving you the real blood type. Who's ever giving it to you? How will I know the military didn't just put O positive for a reason? I mean, how do you really know? I mean, do you got to get multiple tests from different places, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, good question, because that is something that I saw in the military when I was doing my thing. Now, I was attached to a group that looked for human trafficking. We tried to shut it down. And what I found out was, like Eric, we talk about in the show, there is a large volume of blood doping going on. Now, blood doping means you're taking blood from another person and putting it into yourself. So there was this thing where you had, for an example, you had an RH positive female who has lots and lots and lots of money. And they get a child. Okay, child has to be a virgin because you don't want, not that anything sexual. It's because there's nothing in the blood. Every female carries a cell from a male when they sleep with a male. That's all there is. The women carry the cell of all the males. Bottom line. A female that has never had any intercourse with a male, has no cells carried from anyway, they're clean, whatever. Good for blood transfusion. So they take the child, and they were taking an RH negative child because an RH positive can accept it. So they take an RH negative child and pump all the blood into the RH negative child into the RH positive female adult, and do like a dialysis thing where they run the blood through They're running the blood through. And so the negative blood's coming out, the positive blood's coming out, the negative blood's going in, and they keep doing this over and over again. Then give the child a break, maybe bring a new child in for more negative blood, until that person's blood, we're trying to get to the point where it switches. It literally, this Rh positive female wants to switch your blood to negative. And they were doing experiments with that and seeing if they can do that. I mean, and they can. Eventually the body will start producing its own cells again, and it'll go back to positive. But for a little while, that female will have Rh negative blood completely, and they somehow can go out and do whatever they think they can do for whatever their hypothetical magic powers, or whatever, dance and sing and do whatever magic things they can do with that blood they think they can do. So blood doping was a problem, and and that's probably what that's what they probably did at what's his name's island, at Epstein's Island. I go, Epstein's Island it was a blood doping island. That's what I see. I've been around it, and they go, no, they raped these children. They didn't rape anybody, because then they're no good. So they were blood doping children. They're bringing their children into blood doping.
Is that what
into adults?
Armstrong was doing on his racing, blood doping for those reasons?
Yeah, the blood dopers. Yeah.
Armstrong, whatever his name is, the biker.
Biker?
You know, the biker.
The biker doing what?
He's caught cheating for blood doping.
Oh, yeah, the bicycle. Yeah, the bicycle guy. Yeah, the bicycle guy. Yeah, and Armstrong, he's already an Rh negative. So what he did was, good question. What Armstrong did was, he would take his bike. He went up to like the South America and to the high to the higher country where there's less oxygen, and he would ride his bike with less oxygen till his body got adapted to having less oxygen, and then his body was like getting used to the less oxygen, and so his blood was changing. Lance Armstrong, his blood was changing with the environment, so it was his. He's not blood doping anybody else's but his own. So he was, and he was giving his own blood as he was doing after a few weeks of being climatized, riding the bicycles at way up high with less oxygen. He would take his own blood and have them, and put it on ice and save it. So when it comes down to the tournaments, he would blood dope his own blood from his high altitude blood, which is like having high octane gas. High octane gasoline, eh? High octane gasoline. 2 days ago, I saw a vehicle in the hole of that tanker. You want to get out of here? You talk to me. High octane, they put the high octane nitrous. So his blood was like nitrous. So there's that answer. Wow. I think you're getting a lot of answers.
Yeah, I like answers.
Well, yes.
I ask it pretty much everyone that comes on. I'm not like we're all seeking what's really going on, what everything is, what the connection is. Do you really want to know what the connection is? Because once we find out, there's no mystery anymore. Yeah. I like puzzles. I've always liked puzzles and pieces my whole life. Since 2016, since I got here from my memory, that is, got here from a Sagittarius constellation to Orion Spur on the other side of the black hole of the record, I can see that this place, there's an unveiling going on. The bad guys are getting caught. The way the Matrix is working is they're not getting away with it anymore. They got the bad lucks. Like things keep coming out of the closet. Like the way you might lose your keys or have some kind of phenomenon experience. The things that keep changing. Oh, that's that bird. Anyway, they're talking to you guys. They're answering your questions. They're like talking out here. Yeah, I'm a Rh negative, so all the birds and everything talk to me. Anyway, they're really cool birds. The unveiling's going on, and I've noticed a lot of rich people are having bad luck. It's not their fault. There's no conspiracy. Things are coming out. A lot of things they can't stop getting caught. They're having bad luck. And they're also spell casting. They're spell casting back. And so if you spell cast, like for example, if Sarah spell casts against, she likes me. So Sarah says I'm a really hot guy. I don't blame her if she thinks that.
and she spell casts against me so I can fall in love with her, but I don't. It bounces back. She'll have bad luck. Like all of a sudden, her front tooth will fall out. Her front tooth. Oh my God, my front tooth fell out.
Every spell that's cast has a price. Yeah,
it has a price, and if it doesn't work, you pay the price. So a lot of these R-rated negatives, especially in Hollywood, and the royals, they're using magic. They're spell casting, but it's like, say they're spell casting against you, Andy, and I know you're a negative, so it don't work. It's bouncing back to them. Now you'll have some bad luck, like you'll get some bad luck, but it ain't enough to slow you down.
Yeah, it's and it just opens me up to think, right, I need to do something about this. To me, it's just an obstacle, and you can get past any obstacle.
Yeah, because
around.
Yeah, because they're not doing the power; they're asking for the power, and God's not an asshole, so they need an asshole to cast a spell with. So they're using the jinn. Or they say a demon, or an egregore, whatever your preference is. They're using their magic to do it. So they could just pray, and God's a 50-50. Most likely it's not. Come on, man, I just need $100. Now you'll win a scratcher for like $10 to get beer, and you won't get anything more than that. You get the bare minimum. You get welfare with God. But with a demon, they're gonna give you everything. So, in order for them to give you everything, they gotta go ahead and spellcast and take it from somebody else.
Yeah,
but if it don't work,
you sold to the devil.
Yeah, and so you still gotta pay the piper. So those things cost money, they cost something. You ain't gonna just get it for free. But these rich people, these elites or whatever, they're using like a child's magic, and they're using the jinn or the demons or whatever to use their magic as a catalyst, and it ain't working. A lot of them are just bouncing back because for some reason people I'm a vet, so of course I believe in a God, right? I'm a scientist at the same time, so I believe in all the other stuff that goes with the science world, but I still believe in a God. So if I need help, I'm not asking no demon. I'm just like, dude, throw me a bone, man. Like, just throw me a bone. And then I cross my fingers. That's called prayer. I don't need a demon. Yeah. So there's that.
Oh, thank you. Sarah, any questions? Eric, any questions?
Oh no, I'm not following up on that one.
Sorry, I keep disappearing.
You beat that answer.
All right, it's cool.
So you're a midwife. That's kind of cool.
Well, it is, but not tonight because I'm taking calls. I keep disappearing because my phone keeps buzzing, and I've got triage to take.
It's fine. It's fine. Honestly, don't worry about it.
I'm here. At least I'm here this week.
Yes.
I was at home birth the other week. Had to go like 10 minutes in.
Yeah. It's all night before it was born. It was born.
And he ended up in theatre. There wasn't even a home birth in the end.
I'm just glad I do Monday to Friday.
I just think those birds are having a good time. Those birds are going at it.
I know. Sure, he's not in Ava.
I think my internet.
Yeah, you keep freezing, Bob.
He's dead again.
Yeah. It always freezes when my dick gets hard, so I don't apologize. I'm gonna calm it down. It's just what it is. I don't know. Something about the magic.
It's that blood type again. That's what it is, Bob.
Those Reese's negatives.
Yeah. He's gone.
And he froze right there.
Why did he not freeze just before he said his last statement?
If you ever looking for portals, you want to bring him with you because Dr. Wu will actually sweat when there's a portal there. You would literally actually start sweating on portals for some reason.
Yeah, I need to go to the US and do some proper research.
Proper research.
I do. I've got to go back. It's been 5 years. 5 years. I was actually in New York this time 5 years ago to the day.
Yeah, that's the East Coast, man. Nobody cares about the East Coast. It's about the West Coast.
I've never been before. I didn't care where I went.
No, I go to the East Coast almost every other year because my wife's, that's where she grew up in.
Right.
In New York. And of course, I grew up in California. So West Coast, East Coast, how do we meet? That's a strange story. The East meets the West.
Yes. See, it's like East to West here. It's like an hour and a half drive.
Well, the East Coast is really beautiful in some ways. Like, God, I know in the UK you guys have some wonderful graveyards, but on the East Coast has almost like the same kind of graveyards you guys have on the East Coast. On the West Coast, we don't really have those awesome graveyards. You know, like in the state of Washington, where I'm at, 70% of people are not buried. You know, they're cremated. You know, cremation. So we don't really have these awesome, beautiful graveyards here. So when we investigate them, you know, we got to go out and find the oldest ones in history to, you know, to have that look with that feel.
Well, tell you where I went when I was in Connecticut. I went to Mark Twain's house. Didn't realize they've changed it to a museum, and was going to go to the cemetery where he was buried, but the snow was that bad. It was difficult to get there. So,
I'm back. Sorry, I was gone.
That's cool.
Sounds like you're out of breath.
Yeah, I was.
I'm just looking at his avatar and it's so wrong in every way possible.
Oh, you don't think I look good in silk? Come on, look at me, man. Will you not do me? Goodbye, horses. Goodbye, horse. I figured I'd change the avatar picture. It kicked me out anyway. It just keeps kicking me out.
I'm sure this is another Mandela effect going on right now. It's got to be something. He's definitely something.
Too much energy in here. It's too much. I think it is. It's too much energy in here.
The energy's good though.
Yeah, no, energy's positive. I think that's why they shut it off. I think there's an egregore, or we say a jinn or a demon. It shuts it off. We get too happy, too many good times, and all of a sudden my internet just drops. No reason for it because I have multiple Obama phones. I don't pay for internet. I just sign up for multiple phones for free, and they all have internet.
So I've got a boost at the side of me. So it took me a year to get that from the company that we get our internet from.
You've got.
I just grab another.
It's a booster.
Oh.
See this?
I do.
So is that a marijuana plant?
Or the internet?
Are those marijuana plants?
No, they're plastic.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, because
I thought you were secretly showing your grow operation in the corner. Like, look here, mate.
No, nothing that exciting.
You've got like your blue lights and everything. Wow.
I bought a lava lamp. It's £10 from the range, blue and black. I don't.
Well, blue. Oh yeah.
You see it? You know, you're set up.
You got to be careful. Margaret just pee herself. She said that in the chat. You just made her pee herself.
Oh, look at that! What is that? What is that rope thing? Are you into some weird stuff?
That's the lamp.
Oh, that's the lamp. Oh,
but
you got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Check it out. The old Volkswagen. Yay. Cool. Check out your room, man.
Isn't it cool? It's so cool.
It is.
Temu, eBay, Amazon, and the called the Cabin of Curiosity. So you see
you're not
across the top, and then big guy here. So I get them from there.
That's cool, man. I'll tell you what, though, you're not gonna get laid, though. It's just not. I think it's cool though because I'm a guy. Eric's loving it. I think Sarah's just weird, but normal chicks, you're not gonna get, man, with that
Don't
rule.
mind a bit of a geek.
She don't seem to care. That's why she's on your show. She's the exception. Sarah will go in there, no problem. Oh, this is cool. Oh my God, you got comics? I bet you have a comic book collection. What's your comic set? What kind of comics you read?
Don't. I buy books.
Okay, you read.
Signed by the author, and then they go on a bookshelf, and they stay there.
Mine comics.
Don't get read. But I've got 2 salt lamps. I've got 2 of them crystals.
Crystals, they store energy, yeah.
What are they
I
called?
love crystals.
Yeah, they store energy.
One to energize all the others, and then I've got a ball one inside the computer.
My toys.
The same.
Eric, you already married. You don't need to get laid. Put that back. I'm trying to help Andy out here, man. You're lost.
I've got an original 1980s Rubik's Cube up there as well.
Oh,
Say that
wow.
again. How did you just pronounce Rubik's Cube?
Rubik's Cube.
Oh,
Rubik.
don't. You put the emphasis
Rubik.
on the wrong bit.
It's a Mandela effect.
Cube.
It's a
Rubik.
Mandela effect.
It's the way you said Rubik's Cube, not a Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, it's a massive
Cube.
Mandela effect.
Rubik.
Your emphasis went on the wrong bit.
Yeah.
I've got a Batman.
Rubik's with
R2D2,
Eric,
Yoda, Millennium Falcon.
Oh, you do have all that stuff like Eric has. Cool.
VW camper. Also, small gargoyles up there.
Where's the lotion?
Sorry?
Where's the lotion station?
No.
You don't have a jerk off station?
No.
Oh, come on, man. Every guy has a jerk off station.
Too busy
You
doing
gotta-
ice creams. Don't have time.
You got a jerk off station. You're lying, man.
No. Don't. I don't even understand what you're saying.
Sarah's staying quiet. She's staying quiet. She's laughing. She's like, this guy's got a jerk off station. I know he does. It's in there somewhere. It's in the corner somewhere. He's got a little thing of lotion and a thing of tissue somewhere in a chair, in a special chair.
Eric, shut him up.
Shut up, dude. That's man secrets.
Yeah.
You can't.
We've got 3 minutes left.
Okay, cool.
Then we got to go. So,
Yes.
quickly before we go, there is a live stream tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time, doing a global sky watch. It's going to be on for an hour. There's going to be between 4 and 6 cameras pointing at the sky, see if we pick anything up. That's that. Then on the 5th of April, we are doing a drunken podcast.
Whose idea was that, Andy?
It was yours. So,
wow.
that we're going to be doing Sambuca.
I'll be doing it. So what time is it?
We have trigger words. So they're going to be between me, Sarah, Nicole, and possibly Tommy, if he's not got flu. And every time that person says that word, they've got to take a shot. Yeah?
Oh, I want to be invited. Joking. No, you guys would be under the table. You guys would be under the table. You guys would be like...
At the very beginning, as we come on air, we're going to be knocking back a pint of some alcoholic beverage.
Wow.
And you cannot talk until that drink is down. And the glass is empty.
Nice.
Yeah. So it is planned and it's all...
Well, I mean, after at 420, I'm doing a show tonight. I got a 30-pack. I'm going to cap all them tonight in 2.5 hours. That's what, I normally do 30. And so there's guys that watch me like overseas, and they're all doing beers. Every time I drink a beer, they drink a beer. And they're sitting me, dude, you did 30 last night, man. Everybody passed out. I'm like, nobody finished your show, and you were still going. I'm like, yeah, I had 30 beers.
Yeah, I don't know which way the show's gone. The last time I did Sambuca, I did 12 shots and do not remember anything of the rest of that.
I'm gonna get loaded too. I got a lot of weed. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's us done, guys. Wednesday. Quickly got Lala Bright and Science Bob. Next Friday we've got June DeYoung. She is a psychic to the stars.
Wow.
The following Sunday, we've got Michaela Ford coming on, who does Paranormal or What podcast. Oh, and for those that watched Wednesday's show just gone, we got Dave Hodrian coming back on doing a part 2 because we didn't get, same as you guys, we didn't even get a foot through the door before the time was up. Then the 22nd, we've got Encrypted Roundtable with the hosts, Dominic Zenden and Michelle Gray.
Nice.
And nothing on Good Friday because I've got to go and watch ABBA. Don't ask.
No, I love ABBA, man. I like ABBA. I like ABBA.
I can, but I don't know. I got roped into this.
No, I like ABBA.
Going.
Doesn't ABBA have this auto stage thing, this computer thing?
Yeah, it's holograms and all that.
Holograms, yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I like Dancing Queen. I like Dancing. I like Fernando.
Yeah, I do like the music.
Fernando.
Oh, baby,
and Dancing Queen.
He's asking me about Hope's car. We are planning to go. I have had a look. We know where we're going.
Ooh,
cool.
You're hunting ghosts?
We are going.
Manchester.
Oh. God, man, I want to go back to Manchester so bad. You guys have no idea.
Well,
I want to get back there.
If
I get back to,
and we'll take you guys out.
Yeah, I'll get to Manchester eventually, and I'll hook up with you guys. Do you know any cool orgy places we can hang out? We'll go have that time. We'll hit a couple pubs. Maybe do some. We'll do some cow tipping. Some cow tipping over there.
And I used to drop off and pick up at the local knocking shops. That's all I'm going to say. And there's a lot more than you'd think there was.
There's a lot of.
There's so many, and they're in places you won't even guess it was there.
We'll get drunk and get a houseboat, man. One of them canal boats, and we'll just race it and break all the rules. Just race. Yeah. We'll go fast. Right. I like what we build the engine. No, this is illegal, dude. Don't worry about it.
Narrowboat the UK on a paranormal podcast.
Oh, that'd be so badass.
All of the pubs along the narrowboat route.
Oh, that'd be so bad. If you guys did that, I will save money to get on your freaking canal boat to go do that tour.
Right, I do have to end this now. So, massive thank you, Eric and Bob and Sarah. Yeah. Absolute pleasure as always. Bit close to the line, but if you're not going to do it,
he's going to hit that lotion next. He's going to hit that lotion.
On that note, I'm going. Right, I'll see you all tomorrow.
Mom! Leave me alone!
6 o'clock. Going. Goodbye.
This is the last time we're on this.
I'm busy.
See you later, guys.
Busy in here. Busy.
See you later.